Hi, I'm Jenny from the plot, and this is my allotment. Welcome to my lady garden.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. I'm down to...
Well, we survived the storms, and I thought you'd like to know my greenhouse is still completely intact. Go coat hangers! The rest of the plot needs a little bit of tidying up though. So I need your help with some things today. Every time there is a gust of wind, my purple sprouting broccoli fall over. The rods I've got in supporting them fall over because the ground is so wet and I cannot keep the net on. The pegs, let me find a peg. The pegs just seem to pop out of the ground and I find them just lying on the path. I am going to collect some rocks and some rubble on Friday. So hopefully that will help, because rocks seem to be the only thing that keep the nets down. I'm wondering whether actually the hoops are a bit big and so the net is too tightly stretched. So what I'm going to try and do today is shove the hoops a bit further down into the soil, make the whole frame just a little bit shorter, and hopefully the net will stay on. Here's hoping. So I've tidied up a lot of the leaves and I've tried to strengthen the frame and make it a bit more compact. So I'll have a go at getting the net on now and weigh it down with all the rocks I've got. There, that's tidied up. I just need to stick that horrible pile of leaves on the compost heap. And some wood ash while I'm here. And a bit of a bang of the compost heap while I think of it. Keep those rat babies away. Done. Well, that's definitely tidier now. It's such a lovely still morning this morning. It could not be more different from Monday. It's funny, isn't it, how quickly the weather can change like that. The other thing I really wanted to get your advice on, as well as securing my brassicas, is these empty beds. I've got one here, I've got two there and two at the front. They're empty because the green manure didn't really work in them very well. Well, I think it got eaten by birds. So they're just sitting there growing weeds, getting very boggy and wet in all this horrible weather. And I don't feel like they're ready for spring. So what should I do? I know the answer is usually add organic matter, and I will be putting my compost on, but I don't have a huge amount of it. I have got chicken manure pellets, which I could add. And I've also got lots of cardboard now because I've been collecting it up. So I could cover them. Should I do that? Let me know what you think. Right, we're back at the greenhouse, thankfully not in the middle of a thunderstorm. And I realised as I was riding out the storm in here that it could do with a bit of tidying up as well. So my sweet peas. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I mean, do you know what I mean? That one looks all right. He looks quite happy. Lots of them are a bit snapped. That's because they fell off the shelf in my greenhouse at home, not once, but twice during storms. But they're still kind of green and growing. And I think what I probably need to do, that one looks a bit dead, although that bit of it looks pretty good. What I think I need to do is pinch them out. Now, I have never done this before, and I don't want to commit plant murder. So some of them, I mean, he looks like he's had his top taken off already. He looks a bit wee. I'm going to let him grow. That one's not going to make it. That one's definitely not going to make it. That one might be all right. So I'm going to pinch off the top. You'll be screaming at the screen. What are you doing? What are you doing, Jenny? Okay, I've got the top bit. Oh, I did it. I did it. Oh no. Sorry, sweet peas. God, oh, I took off a couple of leaves. They're bent, but they're still green. Well, I'm going to do it. What's the worst that can happen? I kill it. I'm going to plant some more in February anyway. So where's your growing tip, Sunshine? Right, have I done you? God, now I've forgotten which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. Have I done you? Have you been done? Let's pinch off the top anyway. Okay, that's the sweet peas done. Now, the next thing I have to tidy up are my onion seedlings. Now, if you saw the vlog, it was a couple of weeks ago, I put my onion seedlings out, which were all really, really leggy, and I put them out here and they all died. So I sowed some more of the Ridgenberger, that one, and the generic ones at home. The generic ones haven't germinated yet, but the Ridgenberger have. So let me show you those. So there they are. They've germinated, and rather than let them get leggy, I am going to put them in here straight away. So I'm going to chuck out my dead onions and replace them with my newly germinated ones. Now I've salvaged the compost from the dead onion seedlings because they didn't get very far, so I think it'll still be perfectly fine to reuse. So I will be doing some sowing shortly, but first, before I do anything involving seeds, I've got to sort out my overflowing seed storage unit. I've seen some gardeners with really fabulous kind of folders with their seeds all sorted into different months of sowing. I haven't got a folder, so what I do have are cake tins. Surprise, surprise. A couple of little panettone tins left over from Christmas, and another random tin that I found in the bathroom. So I'm going to sort my seeds not into months, but into where they're going to go. So I'm going to have one tin for seeds that I sow at home. I'm going to have one tin for flowers, flower seeds that I sow here. I'm going to have the big tin I'm going to have as veg seeds that I grow on the allotment. And then this tin, I thought, it's not very big. It could be for seeds that I'm not going to be using this year. But also, I saw Kerry from Dog on the Plot, and she had a microgreens tower, which is a beautiful little terracotta tower, kind of stacked tower for growing microgreens in. And she said it's a really good way to use up seeds that you know, old seeds or seeds that you don't really want to grow to full size. And they're really, really nutritious. So I've ordered one. So I'm going to have one tin for microgreen seeds. Now, I know you're all stunned by my artistic talents. Right, it's time to sort the seeds. The last thing I'm going to do today is to do a little bit of sowing. So I'm going to sow just a few cauliflower all year round, it says. I'm going to sow a few of those. Now, my mission this year is to sow less in number and more varieties. I'm just going to sow some leeks to pop in the end of my garlic bed. Not a huge number, but I know they grow all right in there because we had the mystery leek last year. It's a netted bed, so we won't get the allium leaf miner. Touch wood, touch wood. Now, Jenny from Plot 13, who's another Jenny from the plot, check out her channel. She's wonderful and she really knows what she's doing. She grows her leeks in little clumps. So she sows sort of 5 together and then plants them out in clumps and then picks them as they get big enough to use and lets the rest grow on. And she says they're not as big, but you get more for a small space. Well, I've only got a little bit of space at the end of that garlic bed. So I'm going to do 5 seeds to a toilet roll and plant them out in clumps. I absolutely failed to press record when I was sowing those leeks and cauliflowers so carefully. So here are my finished leeks and here are my finished cauliflowers. So that's it from me for today with my new seed storage system. Now I have 4 tins instead of just 1. Have I just created 4 times the problem that I had before? Who knows? Let me know what you think. Take care and I will see you next time. Bye.